Well, hello and welcome to a Wednesday night weather video. And the reason why I'm doing it Wednesday night and then we're going to do another weather video on Friday night is because I want to go over the climatological data for the month of February, statement on the winter, and talk about the heavy rain as well. Now, we had to deal with stall front syndrome again today, where it was clear to the north. If you were in Connecticut, as you can see on this satellite image, it was a nice, clear day. But for us, we had to deal with some clouds, and to the south of us, even over parts of New York City and maybe southwestern Nassau, they actually had some showers today. So, yeah, stall front syndrome, very frustrating. Again, this is the satellite image you can see. If you were in Connecticut, man, you had clear skies. Clear skies. Connecticut, New England, you had a nice sunny day. But for us, we were on the border between the clouds and the sun. And yesterday was kind of a damp day, and then we had a similar deal on Tuesday as well, not Tuesday, Monday as well. With the this is Monday's weather, so you can see that again, that line that we had, that stalled front that was a little further to the north on Monday. Today it was just literally, if you were just to the north, even if you were on the North Fork, you probably had a mostly sunny day. But it was just sitting here all day. It didn't move south at all. And we're just stuck with dealing with this stall front, and it's frustrating, especially because I saw it on. This is what it looked like on Monday. You can see it perfectly clear to the north, but other than that, cloudy. So really, really annoying. And then Monday night, it cleared out. Finally, cleared out at night. It was nice to be a nice moonlit night, where I got to enjoy some clear skies and the moon. But of course, the clouds rolled back in for the lunar eclipse, so we didn't see that, which sucked. And yesterday we had clouds, and today the sky, again, half and half sky. This is what it looked like throughout much of the day today. You could see clear skies to the north, clouds over us. Really frustrating. There's like a line, literally like a solid line in the sky. It's really quite unusual, I'll say. And then if you look to the south, darker clouds with some rain was falling. This was this afternoon, and then again toward the evening we had some blue sky and ultracumulus mixing. So just really, and then the moon was trying to come out tonight again. But other than that, you could see the moon, it clouded back over again. So anyway, that's the case with the stall front syndrome. So anyway, we'll get back to that in a moment. We're going to look at this statement from the National Weather Service about the winter temperatures. This meteorological winter, that's December, January, and February, averaged significantly below normal region-wide. At Central Park, only 3 times have temperatures averaged below freezing in the winter season since the turn of the century. The more recent winters in which this occurred were 2002, 2003, 2014, 2015, and this past winter, 2025 to 2026. Temperatures for the past winter season of 2025 to 2026 averaged 31.9 degrees, which is 4.3 degrees below normal. The image here shows the drop in seasonal average temperature at Central Park for the aforementioned winter season. So they have an image here, which I guess that's up there. You could sort of see there on their Facebook. But I'm going to be focusing on February here. All right, so let's go take a look at that. And then we'll get back to the current week here. All right, so we'll go to iSlip. We'll look at our monthly weather summary for February, and they only released it on March 3rd. But here is the deal for iSlip. All right, maybe we can find the seasonal weather summary for iSlip too for the winter. All right, so our average maximum temperature for February was 35.3. The normal is supposed to be 41 degrees. So we were 5.7 degrees below normal for February. That's significantly below normal. Average minimum, 20.4. That's 5.1 degrees below the average minimum of the normal one of 25.5. All right, compare that with last year when we were running above normal. The mean, 27.9. Is 5.4 degrees below the normal mean of 33.3. So, yep, below normal across the board. Precipitation, we've had for liquid equivalent 3.66 inches, slightly above the normal of 3.29. However, the snowfall, 34.2 inches. That means we've had the snowiest February on record at Islip. Snowiest February on record, 34.2 inches for the entire month of February. That is very, very impressive. Extremely impressive, I might add. So, incredible cold and snow for. I'm glad it was cold, but I would have liked it without all that snow, because all that snow meant I couldn't really enjoy any of that frigid cold weather and go on any long hikes, which sucks. So it's kind of wasted, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's see if they have the seasonal. I don't know if we can get the seasonal here. I don't think it shows the seasonal. Doesn't show the seasonal stuff. So they go by meteorological winter. It's still winter, but they go meteorological winter is December, January, and February. Technically, March is spring. All right, though really the first part of March can be a lot like winter. So, but that's what I read to you earlier anyway. So we're going to look at our daily climate report for Islip now. For today, we had a high of 45 and a low of 34, 3 degrees below normal. We're going to go look at Monday. Find the Monday one. So this is the Monday one here. High of 30 and a low of 19. So we had some pretty good radiational cooling on Monday night. And I'm going to show you some images here of, I believe I have a map here of what we had. These were the lows, I think it's Tuesday morning or overnight Monday. And you can see the lows here. We got down to 19 at Islip and 14 at, it says 18 at Islip. So there's Tuesday morning now. 14 at Shirley and 9 at West Hampton. So yeah, really, it's pretty cold. That was a nice cold air mass. We don't know when it's going to get that cold again. So that's the thing. So let's go look at our weather map, which I didn't put up on the screen because I forgot. And you see, there's another big wave of low pressure riding along the stalled front. That's going to bring some heavy rain for tomorrow. Heavy rain. Now, if we go back to our climate report, which is over here for Islip, so far this month, for March, go back to the current one for today. All right, so we've received so far. This is from the season. All right, so they do have the season report for Islip. So, all right, we'll read that too as well. All right, because that's kind of important. So this is for the winter now, the seasonal. So they did make this available for us. All right. So let's go here for our seasonal. So the observed value at Islip for the season, for the average high was 37.8, normal is 41.5, 3.7 degrees below normal. This is for December, January, February. Average minimum 23.3. That's 3.4 degrees below the average minimum of 26.7. 30.6 it was the mean. The normal is supposed to be 34.1, so 3.5 degrees below normal. And we had 24 days where the highs did not get above freezing. And we had 77 days where the lows got below freezing. So, yeah, it was a pretty cold winter. Now, total amount of liquid equivalent precipitation was 10.01, still below the normal of 11.66. However, we go to the snowfall. Yeah, this is going to blow your mind. 61.6 inches of snow fell this winter at Islip. That is a record. So Islip has had the snowiest winter on record. So that is incredible right there. All right, incredible. So, yeah, really, really impressive. Really impressive stuff right there for Islip. Very impressive. I'm not going to go over the other sites. I meant to look at the daily climate report, but it's glad they got the seasonal up here. But let's go to the daily here. And the daily report, obviously, high of 45 and a low of 43, which meant month to date, we've received 0.55 inches of rain. So we had some rain yesterday. It wasn't that heavy. It was just about a half an inch. But tomorrow's rain is going to be significantly heavier. And I guess that is what we're going to talk about as soon as we get through our current conditions. And you can see they have severe weather posted for the Midwest already starting. But that's from that big storm. We're going to go to the CONUS satellite in a minute. And that's going to bring us our heavier rain tomorrow. Temperatures tonight, well, 35 at Islip, so we generally got mid-30s out there. 28 at West Hampton. Of course, the alley is 47. 47, so it's almost 10 degrees warmer, though Farmingdale does have, it looks like 37, so that's still 10 degrees warmer, and it's hot in here. I got the fans on, the windows on, and yeah, it's hot. So, yeah, this is what it is in this place. So, anyway, now that we looked at all that, we'll, no reason to look at the lows, I think, this morning, because I don't think we had any radiational cooling. So, anyway, let's go to the larger satellite view here. CONUS satellite view. Show you this big storm that we've got. So this is the next wave of low pressure along the stall front that is going to bring us a heavier rain for tomorrow. And we'll use the latest models for this. So let's first start with the global models, and we'll start with the 700 to 300 humidity, because this is where the moisture is going to come in. You can see that dark green over us. So that's going to mean heavy rain for at least parts of tomorrow. All right, and then Friday we see a little bit of relief. All right, do see some drying. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the weekend. We're just going to cover I'll cover the weekend on Friday night. All right, but we're going to look at the European. Probably similar deal here. You can see that moisture that's going to be coming up and bringing us that heavy rain there for tomorrow, right? So we look at our map. You'll see rain. We get a wave of heavy rain in the morning. Then maybe get a little bit of break, maybe some sucky drizzle, light rain, and then gets heavy again in the evening. So tomorrow is going to be a pretty wet day, all in all. All right. So let's go take a closer look at our models. We'll go to the HRRR right now. And we're going to first start with the dew points and wind flow. I guess we'll start with that. So you see, yeah, this is a backdoor front setting up. So you have a backdoor front. And you can see here, we're staying in, you can see how the warm air is advancing and lifting over the cold air at the surface, which is going to create the rain and the lift for the rain. But at the surface, the temperatures don't warm up that much. They make it as warm as the low 40s. But the rain should wash away a lot of the snow. All right, there could be icing up to the north, but it's not going to be an issue for Long Island. And then you can see, as we get into Friday, we're staying in that northeasterly flow. So Friday, we're still going to be dealing with gloomy conditions, hopefully not wet, but gloomy at least, to say the least. And the temperatures, I'm looking at dew point temperatures. I realized I forgot if I'm looking at dew point temperatures, not actual air temperatures. But so tonight, you can see the temperatures again. We will warm up into the low 40s again. The temperature and the dew point are going to be pretty close tomorrow. But you can see all that really warm air off to the south there, and that tries to again go over. We're going to change just the regions to show you again the warmth that is trying to build in. All right, this is some really impressive warmth that we're going to get into next week, but we still got to deal with this backdoor front setup, the wave of low pressure along it, which is going to keep us cool and rather clammy. You can see the temperatures don't really warm up that much. Then they drop tomorrow night, and then Friday turns out to be kind of chilly when we're struggling to get up to 40 on Long Island. You can see if you're over Virginia, you're dealing with 80s. So, wow, what a temperature gradient right there. That this backdoor front just stalled out. You can sort of see right there where it's just stalled out. Draw the line right here. Right there. You can see this is the problem. They call this backdoor front gloominess. It does keep the heat away, though. At least imagine if we dealt with 80s. But it does keep the heat away, but it also tends to keep us gloomy. So let's go look at our precipitation. Uh-oh. That was weird. I don't know why that happened. But anyway, let's go look at our precipitation chart, and you'll see here that we do have some precipitation coming in right there. A few showers coming after midnight, and then we'll have more showers in the morning, you could see, and they could be heavy at times too. Morning, and then that's going to last through probably the middle of the day, and then we get a little bit of a break, and then more rain comes in, I think, after 9-10 o'clock. Here comes some heavier rain again. This looks like some pretty heavy rain. So if we look at the HRRR, and this goes through Friday, man, you can see that backdoor. I can't even rule out there could be some sucky drizzle on Friday. But if we look at the total amount of rainfall for this system, you will see that we will get between a ½ inch to maybe even an inch, maybe in some areas a little more, according to the HRRR, because that moisture, again, you have that warm air that's being lifted up over the cooler air at the surface. Now, I know we don't get FGen with this particular model. We will go to the NAM, I guess, and that will give us FGen. This is the NAM, which is even heavier, by the way. Even has some areas possibly getting up close to 2 inches just north of New York City there. So let's go ahead and look at the NAM, and let's go to the FGen. All right. You can see the darker areas there. We usually use this for snowfall, but you can see, again, that's where the heavier precipitation would be. This usually works better with snowfall than with rainfall, but I kind of want to just use it just to show where there's advection going on, a warm air advection. So aloft, out over the cold air at the surface. All right, so let's go to the radar simulation for the NAM. All right, so rain starts in the morning, probably 7-8 o'clock, pretty steady. Could be heavy at times, and maybe it gets a little lighter toward the afternoon, though I think there could still be showers and sucky drizzle. It stays wet all day. And then as we get toward in the evening, here comes another wave of rain. And this could be heavy. The NAM is suggesting this might even be a thunderstorm here later on Thursday night. That is rather interesting. It's showing like a thunderstorm there. Almost, this is actually in the wee hours of Friday morning. So that's why the NAM is putting out those heavier rainfall totals. And then Friday, you could see some sucky drizzle to start, and maybe we get rid of it by later in the day. Yeah, this is going to be that looks very impressive there. That's really impressive. Don't think we get CAPE or anything on that, but that looks like some pretty impressive convection right there, because we are dealing with, if you look at the dew points again, you have really humid air off to the south here, dew points in the 60s, and that you have a backdoor front that's stalled, and that air is going over the cold air at the surface. If we look at the sounding, you'll see that. You'll see how quickly. Look at how much the temperature rises with height. So that's your warm air advection right there over the cold air, and that's what's causing the convection. Sometimes you can get thunderstorms with that kind of setup. So can't rule it out completely. I don't think we're in any severe weather risk zone. We can go to the Storm Prediction Center and see. I don't think we're in the risk zone. Is mainly over here. You can see the convective outlook. I don't think. Here's day 2. Oh, they do have thunderstorms painted into parts of New Jersey for tomorrow. So I can't rule out there could be a thunderstorm tomorrow. There could be possible thunderstorms, possibly at night there, it looks like. So according to the NAM, anyway. Let's go to the HDRPS next. Here's the HDRPS. So we have the 0Z run. Unfortunately, it doesn't take us far enough out. We do have the 18Z run. And you'll see, again, there's that rain in the morning, that steady bed of rain in the morning. Could be heavy, a little bit of a break, and then the rain comes back. It could even be some thunderstorms. Again, that looks like a line over there. Well, if we have severe weather tomorrow night, I'm going to have to do another video. But you can see, that's going to have to be watched. That looks pretty heavy right there. Whatever it is, it's going to be a lot of rain, and it will hopefully wash away a lot of the snow. Total accumulated precip showing, again, probably 1 and maybe 1.5 inches of rain. Yeah, it's going to be a soaker for tomorrow, especially in the morning and the evening. You can call it a soaker for sure. So that's what the HDRPS is showing. I think we've been through almost all the models I want to show at this point for this system. I thought one of them has CAPE here. I always thought the NAM had it. I don't know. one of these had a cape. Maybe it's just the HRRR that had it. Let me see. Here I'm thinking, oh, SP cape and Windcrest. Oh, yeah, here we go. So let's see. Do we get this with the NAM? Okay, let's go ahead and look at this for a moment. I don't see cape here, but could be a thunderstorm. I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't. Given how warm this air is, I really would not. So, obviously, we're not going to be seeing the sun. I'm not even going to show the sky model. No point in it. But we will go over to Vent to Sky and take a look at some of the visibility to see if we have any drizzle, how bad the drizzle is going to be for especially Friday. So tomorrow is going to be more of a rain issue, but we're going to have the drizzle problems for your Friday, perhaps. So here's tomorrow, and you can see even when it's not raining, there could be some sucky drizzle around, possibly, all right? When it's not raining. This is the HRRR, which I think is a little on the dry side. It is showing not too much drizzle, by the way. So if this were to pan out, we wouldn't have to deal with so much drizzle. All right? Let's go to Friday. So it's not really showing too much drizzle on Friday. But I find this model tends to underdo the drizzle. I really do. I really do. You can see it almost looks like it's trying to develop a storm over there, all right? But I think it tends to underdo the drizzle. I'd rather go to windy.com. And one thing we can do is look at the thunderstorm and see if any cape is showing here. Those wee hours in the morning. I don't see any cape here. But it does look like the wind is kind of strong, though. Let's see what we got here with wind gusts. Yeah, so it could be kind of windy as well. So when that rain comes down, could be some wind gusts with that rain. It's showing some over Long Island, especially. Nothing damaging, but definitely going to make it more miserable for sure if you're out there. So let's go to windy.com, and this one tends to do a little bit better showing the drizzle. So let's go ahead and look at that. Actually, let's do thunderstorms first. All right, see if this is showing any thunderstorm activity for later on at night. It's not showing any, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is some, given what we just went over here. So let's go take a look at visibility here, and what's going to at tomorrow. And you can see tomorrow it's showing a lot of drizzle. So I'm thinking there's going to be drizzle when it's not raining. I really do, given that we have the backdoor front stalled out. That's a classic setup for drizzle. And for Friday, we're going to start off with drizzle, and then hopefully that drizzle goes away by the afternoon and the evening, and that won't mess up the rest of the day. It's just going to be kind of gloomy and cloudy. Obviously, we're going to be socked in. You can see all the clouds here. So it had no sense showing you the sky model. So I think that's just about going to do it. So we are going to have a pretty wet day for tomorrow, but the good news is that hopefully it will wash away the snow. That's what we need right now, because there's still a lot out there, and there's still a lot of that salt too, which gets on everything as well. So anyway, that's about it. If we do have severe weather tomorrow night, I'll probably have to make another video. We'll have to see what happens, but there's a chance that we could see some thunderstorms, most likely again later tomorrow night, say after 10, 11 o'clock, past midnight or so. Anyway, have a good night.